Hi EDU 187. I hope you guys had a great holiday weekend and that you're ready to get started with week 4. I look forward to hearing your presentations on learning theories, but now let's look ahead at what we have in store for this week, week 4 in EDU 187. Week 4 is about understanding student differences, so you have a couple of modules to read in your textbook. There is a video and a resource about implicit bias that I would like for you to read and watch. Over here is a quick snapshot of the resource. If you're unfamiliar with implicit bias are biases that exist under the surface, so they're almost entirely on the unconscious level. And whereas explicit bias are when we show actual prejudgments or intentionally treat certain groups differently. Implicit is completely under the surface. So after you read those resources and become more familiar with what implicit bias are, I'm asking you to do 2 implicit bias tests just so that you're more aware of any underlying biases you might have so that you can be counteract those and be more mindful moving forward. So that's something that you're going to do as more of a self-evaluation. You're not going to share those results with me. Sometimes these can be very sensitive. Oftentimes people find that they might hold some implicit bias that they are just completely shocked by. So I'm not asking you to share those results with me. I'm just asking you to participate in this activity so you become more aware of what an implicit bias is and how it can affect how you treat different people or different groups of people. Continuing on that theme of understanding about student differences, you are also going to participate and read about some information about multicultural education. This webinar is a great resource talking about culture and learning and how they're intertwined and how they impact each other. And then you have a discussion board this week related to multicultural education. And now finally, you guys have been asking me about this several times already. Now is the time for you to submit your signed mentor agreement. Okay, there may be some of you that are still waiting and still working out those mentor agreements, but many of you have let me know you've already contacted the teacher, you have already made those contacts and aligned yourself with a teacher and have your mentor agreement signed. So this is where you submit those. If you're not at that point yet, please reach out and let me know, and I'll help you work through and figure out the next steps. I have not received information back from Kathleen McLam yet, but I will be reaching out to her again this week. I wanted to give her some time to process that paperwork. So some of you may be waiting to hear from me. I haven't forgotten about you. But you can submit your signed mentor agreement here, and then you can begin with your mentor interview. There is not a list of questions for your mentor interview, but what I'm asking you to do is to come up with a list of questions based on the content that we've covered in this class so far. What do you think is important to know and glean from this teacher that you've chosen that is going to mentor you throughout the semester? So the way that I will be evaluating that is how well your interview questions demonstrate your understanding of what we've talked about so far in this class about some of the roles that a teacher may play. As always, just like we talked about on the webinar, you are going to be submitting your transcript from your interview. That is the questions and the answers that the teacher provides. And then you'll be writing a 1 to 2 page reflection on that. Just like we talked about in our webinar, the difference between a transcript or objective observation notes and a reflection where then you apply and think about what you learned from this experience. So they'll be due in the same spot, but they are separate documents, or if you put them all on one document, you just would need to separate the interview transcript from the reflection that follows, and your reflection should be about 1 to 2 pages. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions moving forward, please just reach out and let me know.